Alright, I wanted to make a comparison video about the Osprey Skarab 22 on the left and the Osprey Talon 22 on the right. This is the old version of the Talon. I have a comparison video of the Osprey Talon 22 old and new. I'll put the link in my description below. I think the Osprey 22 old version is much better than the newer version. That's why you see it here. Now I think the Skarab 22 is an excellent backpack and an alternative in some degrees to this Talon, and I'll explain why. The Skarab 22 weighs in at 1 pound and 14 ounces with the hydration bladder. Without the hydration bladder system, it weighs in at 1 pound 8 ounces. The Talon 22 in the small version weighs in at 1 pound 11 ounces, probably 1 pound 11 or 12 ounces, and that's for the small version, which is not actually a 22-liter pack, it's a 20-liter pack. And I'm going to start and talk about the differences. First and foremost, those are the weight differences. I'd use it without this, so I'm going to 1 pound 8 ounces versus 1 pound 11 ounces. And the volume, this is a 22-liter pack. The small version is a 20-liter pack. I find this Skarab to have probably at least 4 liters over the small version here because of some of the features of how it closes and how it holds the load. This backpack just eats volume, like accommodates volume like no other. I'd never find myself running out of space, even though it's a 22-liter backpack. Now, starting with the differences, first and foremost, let's start with the compartments. As you can see, this bag only has 4 compartments and only 2 zip compartments. So it has one large main compartment, which is the one I mentioned, just eats volume, and it's humongous. It's kind of narrow at the top, it gets very large at the bottom, and then at the top it gets kind of wide again. Like if you have too much stuff, this closes like a clamshell, and so no matter how overfilled this is, I can still always manage to close this without feeling it's constrained. Obviously, if there's something way at the bottom, it's difficult to get to, considering there's only one way to load this, but it's almost dummy proof. Nothing's ever going to fall out. This is just a mule of a pack. It's not very technical, it's not very intelligent, I would say, but it's super lightweight and it gets the job done. And if you know where and how you've packed stuff, put a little bit of thought into how you compartmentalize things, this is fantastic, and that's exactly how I use this. And so this, as I mentioned, when you close this, it's got this extra location that kind of bulges out. So even if when you load everything, you find yourself having stuff sticks out, you still have space. And then there's the second pouch. This is the second zip pouch for small items. It does eat into some of your internal volume. We shouldn't be storing that much stuff here anyways. It's like keys, wallet, snacks, easy access items, and it's got a little loop for keys. Next is the other 2 pouches. It's technically have 5 pouches. There's a snack pouch on the side or a water bottle holder, and then on the second side, technical features, but I'm going to discuss that in a separate video doing just a review of this, so look out for that. And then here there's the 5th pouch, I guess, is for the hydration bladder. What's nice is this part is stiff, and so when you put whatever you put in here, it does eat into the volume of the inside of the pack while keeping this comfortable, flat, and ergonomic. So compared to this pack only has this pack has many more compartments. I can't remember how many it has. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you count this back here as we did here, 7, 8, 9. So this has 9 separate, 9 and 10 if you count this. It has like 9 to 10 different compartments. This is a much more intelligent, much more thought through pack. In spite of that, I still prefer this. Sometimes you just want to set it and forget it. It's dummy proof. This is a lot more technical to pack. I use this for a daily use backpack, going to and from work, for travel. This is way too technical for going to and from work and travel. I mean, you can. Nobody says you can't, but like you always get afraid that this is going to catch on something. This is going to snag. The material choices are a lot less durable. Both of these do use nylon. Nylon is my material preference of choice because of its strength to weight ratio. That factored in purchasing these packs. However, This material here is much thinner for weight savings, so they could give you some more options in terms of the ergonomics and the technicality of the pack and some of the things you can customize. And so even though this is heavier material, it's more durable, and it weighs in at 1 pound 8 ounces, 1 pound 11 ounces, because this has more technical features which end up using more material and weight to really dial in the comfort. Does not have an adjustable. This is not an adjustable shoulder strap. This one is. You can undo the Velcro and adjust the height of this in relation to the hip belt. This hip belt is much more technical and much more padded, and is very comfortable on the hip. This back plate internal frame is about the same stiffness on both, and this one has a wider internal frame, and so it helps hold the volume onto your back in a more comfortable way. Once loaded, even though these are very flexible, once loaded, the load of the backpack gives this internal frame more rigidity, but as you can see, like up and down, it's pretty rigid. And so with the load, this does work very well on both packs. If you're ever at a point where you're using these hip belts on either one of these backpacks, you probably have enough volume to the rigidity of the internal frame, which is helpful. So all the weight ends up sitting on this portion of the belt on your hip, and so for extended period of use, this really digs into your hip. So for a short distance, commuting a couple miles from home to work, or terminal to airport, this is fine and sufficient. But for extended 1+ hour of use, I would definitely, for like a hike, this is much more superior and much more comfortable. Another thing is how these packs hold the load. This is like a turtle shell. It holds the load really close to your back. Most of the weight of the backpack is actually very close to your body, and the Ospreys went through a lot of thought to make this very comfortable and ergonomic, and it shows. And you don't feel the weight of the bag, and then all of this material that would sit further away from your body is very lightweight, and the load will be sucked into your back, so it doesn't leverage your shoulders, so it feels lighter than your load actually may be, considering where the weight sits with this bag. Whereas this one, you can't necessarily say the same. It's just like I said, not as intelligent. It's kind of a dummy-proof bag, but it is what it is. Now, for using this for hiking, I could use either one of these interchangeably. If I could only keep one bag, it would definitely be this. Largely because of its versatility. I use it day in, day out, every day. I use it for travel. This material has taken quite a beating, and as you can see, I've used it so much. This logo, Osprey logo, has already worn off. I can't even see where it used to be. Other differences, this has many different ways to cinch a load down. Okay, so there's the straps over here, internally routed from these mesh pouches to help you cinch a load down. Then you have that on the side here as well. Bag, you have only one way up here to cinch a load down. I almost never use this. If I didn't have this, I don't think I would miss it. Alright, so those are the main differences between these two packs. What I want to do is just go through the front and go through each item towards the end of the video. So here's the front on both. This has loops going up and down. This has a pouch in the front. On the side, this has a cinch down, and then this has a much larger side pouch. This has a smaller one without the double hole. On the back, I went through. This is much more technical, with adjustable shoulder strap, more comfortable hip belt that's very well integrated with hip pouches. This is a lot more minimalistic. The internal frames are both equally rigid and I would say equally comfortable. This has a hydration bladder location, as does this. It's also the hydration bladder location. On the straps, this is just a basic strap with just a couple of areas to loop your hydration tube or something else. Adjustable chest strap right here. This has the same type of thing. Now this has additional hardware to help pull this load in towards your shoulders with these two straps right here, and then it has some more rubber piping to hold the straps so they don't bounce around and get in your way. This has something where you could put a snack or a cell phone, or not a modern cell phone, snack, or maybe a tool or a compass or something. And then it's got like hardware to hold trekking poles. This has none of that. One other thing I think that is unique is this has a whistle built in, and it's a buckle, whereas this one has a magnetic chest strap securement. I actually like this a lot. Initially I found it really finicky, but once you figure out the muscle memory of how to clip it and unclip it, you can do it one-handed. This is super cool. I didn't think I would like it, and I thought of it kind of gimmicky, finicky, but it's totally awesome. Super quick and easy to undo. The hydration bladder can actually magnetically clip to it here, so it's like this can accommodate. It's not as much space inside. I think there's about, I would estimate that this has 4 liters more volume than this, in spite of them both being called 22-liter packs. There you go. And then that's about it. Thanks for watching.